Welcome learners. We are going to discuss in this video about classification of distribution channels, which is based on the products, especially what are all the channels we are adapting to distribute the consumer products, what are all the channels we are going to choose for industrial products, and also the services what we are rendering through our organization. Let's go deeper into this video and know about the concepts separately. The classification of the channels usually will be based on the two important characteristics. One is about the nature of business what we are doing and what is the material or the product we are going to settle down or we are going to send it to the consumers is also taken into consideration. Major classification of these type of channel distribution is based on the products of consumer nature, especially the FMCG products and other things. Another one is for the industrial manufacturing. So that is what the two channels we will be discussing in this. So what is mean by the channels of industrial products? Industrial channels or the products of industrial distribution channels are shorter than consumer channels because they are a small number of industrial customers, and they are geographically concentrated at a few locations like factory sites. Industrial products are often complex in nature, and the buying process is also long. Sometimes it is very long also. So the industrial channels are very shorter than the consumer channels. Industrial channels is nothing but people, those who are giving the products to the industry supply or the industry material manufacturing. Then the manufacturers and the industrial customers interact extensively during the buying process itself, how they are going to send the material. And even afterwards, as most industrial products need to be routinely serviced. That is, the one time if they started fixing where they are going to procure the raw material and how they are going to bring it, and they will be doing the process continuously with the same supplier. Sometimes if they want to change the supplier, they will be discussing along with the product how they are going to distribute that to their work spot or the factory site. Consumer channels are not like that. They are normally longer because the large number of geographically dispersed varied customers are to be reached. They are not in one particular location. Suppose the industrial goods, for example, when you go to Sipcot or the industrial estate or some economically prone zones, industrial prone zones, there you can see the lot of industries are available. So everybody will be focusing on that particular line alone. But in the case of consumers or customers, they are all over the geographical locations. They are widespread. So the channels, we have to be very careful while you are choosing it for the consumer. The consumers buy in small quantities when you are compared to the industrial products, and the information needed to arrive at a purchase decision is limited because the products are not very sophisticated at all. So they will be just ordering for their day-to-day expenses like FMCG products, fast-moving goods, for their grocery items, or sometimes for their apparels, all those items. And very rarely they will be going for durables. Like the chairs or the cots or the mattress or washing machine, refrigerator, all those items. But industrial products, when you are comparing to that, they will be buying in bulk quantities. Suppose they are ordering for bearings or heavy machineries, equipments, or the heating rods or the chambers. So it will be taking very huge orders. It will be very heavy also, and it will be very huge orders also. Once the economic ordering quantity is decided, based on that the orders will be made, and everybody want to reduce the channel cost. Then the manufacturer may reach out to consumers either directly, sometimes that is without using the distribution channels. From their own shop or their manufacturing unit itself, they will be directly meeting them, or by using one or more distribution channels, the nearby shop, auto vendors, automen or the loadmen, they can just use their own vehicles and they will just reach the materials. Distribution channel members are also very less in case of the consumer products. They don't want those type of very long consumer channels. When you are comparing to the distribution channel for the consumer goods, there will be different models. That is, there are 4 models we are focusing on it. Here, model number 1 is the producer directly sending it to the consumer. So this is one model where the producer have his own vehicles, his own distribution channel, and he will be directly sending it to their either through the retail outlets or through e-tailing. Nowadays you can see that. And then the producer second model is the producer retailer, and then it will reach the consumer. Then the third model is producer, wholesaler, retailer, and the consumer. And the last model is producer, agent, wholesalers, retailers, as well as the consumers. So the distribution channels of the consumer goods will be in any one of these 4 formats. So format number 1, direct producer to consumer. Second one is there will be a retailer in between. In the third channel, there will be a wholesaler and a retailer. The last channel will have an agent and the wholesaler and the retailer, and also to the consumers. Coming back to the first model, manufacturer directly to the consumer. So this is, we call it as the direct marketing, which includes the use of personal selling, direct mailing, telephonic orders, selling on the internet. So these are all the methods of direct sellings, and the channel will not be there in that, only directly reaching the consumers from the manufacturer's site. Say Avon Cosmetics, Tupperware, Aquaguard, and Amazon.com are examples of these companies engaged primarily in direct marketing. So Tupperware and all, people might have been knowing it very well, and they will be direct. Aquaguard also like that. The Aquaguard manufacturers directly come to your house, they will fix it, they will make a demo for it, and they will also teach you how to use the Aquaguard machines, and they will go back with the money. So this is what the easiest channel, manufacturer to consumer. So direct marketing is influencing in this. The company contacts the customers directly through salespersons. You can see the Aquaguard example, the Tupperware agent, people, those who are already in the member of the Tupperware, they may be coming to you. Through the company will be supplying the material to you, and you will be in turn give it to the customers for a minimum percentages. And the mail orders and the telephonic conversations. Sometimes you can call and tell that these are all the material I needed. Immediately they will reach you. Where the nearby rice mill or those people. You can call the rice mill owner and tell them that I want 5 bags of rice. Then they will be sending it to you. And internet orders like that, and make sales also. So the products are sent directly to consumers by the manufacturers in this model. This is the first model of consumer goods. The second model talks about the manufacturer to the retailer to consumers. Here the retailer will be in between, the middlemen will be available here. So retailer have grown in size. Growth in retailers' size means that it has become economic for manufacturers to supply directly to retailers rather than through wholesalers. So some products they will be just sending it to the retailers, and instead of appointing some wholesaler, from wholesaler it will reach to retailer, they will be directly selling it to the retail outlets, and those retail outlets will in turn distribute to the consumers. The supermarket chain stores and the corporate retailers exercise considerable power over manufacturers because of their enormous buying capabilities. That is, Walmart uses its enormous retail shops to pressurize manufacturers to supply products of frequent intervals directly to the store unit at the concessional prices. So they will have a system of stock recordings along with the RFID cards in the Walmart, and if the stock get over, automatically the mail will go to the PMG, and the PMG people will come and reload the racks with the available stock, whatever the stock which is ordered. Then the third model is about the manufacturer to wholesaler and to a retailer, and it will reach its consumers. For small retailers with limited order quantities, they use the wholesalers, makes economic sense. Wholesalers buys in bulk and produces and and then sell to from the producers, and they will sell smaller quantities to numerous retailers. You can see that a lot of examples in this category. Almost most of the products will be purchased from the wholesaler. Textile industries are doing the same thing. But large retailers in small markets have the power to buy directly even from the manufacturers, and thus cut out the wholesalers' commissions. And these big retailers are also able to sell at a cheaper rate to consumers than the retailers who buy from the wholesaler. So wholesalers dominate where retail oligopolies or monopolies are not dominant. So this is what the model we should understand. Textile is the best example. They will be directly Surat, people are manufacturing, and from Surat the wholesalers will get it, and the wholesalers will redistribute to the small stores which is available in the nearby areas, and the customers will go to the retail outlets and they will get it. Sometimes the retailer directly will get it from the manufacturers also. So that is also possible. Then the manufacturer to agent and agent to the retailer and to consumer. A company uses this channel, then it enters into foreign markets. Especially this channel will be used for the foreign marketers, because it does not have enough sales to warrant the setting up of a sales and distribution infrastructure in the other country. So therefore, it delegates the task of selling its product to an agent who does not take title of the goods. For example, you are exporting to Gulf countries or to Sri Lanka. So there will be an agent for you and you will be sending it to them. That agent contacts the wholesalers in that particular area, and these wholesalers in the foreign market receives the material, and in turn they will pay the commissions, and they will sell it to the other retailers, those who are in that particular country. From their way, the consumers will buy it. Even a lot of spices and other things which we are exporting to Gulf countries and to Sri Lanka and to the other eastern nations from India is one such model, where manufacturer will be appointing some agents, and these agents will in turn identify the wholesalers in that particular country, foreign country, and that wholesaler will redistribute to their own country retailers. From the retail shops, the other country people will purchase it. So this is the model which you will be using it in the international trade. Then the manufacturers to the agent, to the wholesaler, to the retailer, to the consumers, that is the company who want to sell to large number of customers, and hence are increasingly using multiple channels to distribute their products. So the company's products may be found in a company owned store and exclusive stores. In that case also a multi-brand store and a discount store simultaneously. Companies have realized that all customers of a product do not buy the same from the same retailer. So there they will also operate this model, that is manufacturer to agent, to wholesaler, to retailer and to the consumer. So this model is for the want to sell to larger number of customers. Then about the industrial channels. We'll see what about the industrial channels. Industrial channels are usually shorter than consumer channels. Already I spoke about it. So direct selling is prevalent due to closer relationship between the manufacturer and the consumers. Unless otherwise the manufacturers, factory owners knows the supplier, they will not place the order. It is fully with the personal bond agents, as well as due to the nature of the product what they are selling out. If anything goes wrong with the raw material, then the entire production process will get spoiled and the brand will get spoiled and reputation also will get spoiled. So that's what they are very much clear on the industrial channels. So industrial channels are usually shorter than the consumer channels and they are doing the direct selling process. Then the models which is available in the industrial channels. Here also you can use the 4 model. One is about the producer directly selling the materials to the industrial customers. Most of the Indian industrial owners rely on these models. They will not believe on any agents. They will be directly want to procure the material from the products who is manufacturing it. Then the next model is producer to the agent, and the agent to industrial customers. And the third model is the producer to the distributor, and distributor in turn will be doing industrial customer. And the last model is producer to the agent, and the agent to the distributor, and the distributor to the industrial customer. So you can find out the 4 models. Number 1 is the producer to the industrial consumer, and you can directly, this is a direct purchase, and the producer agent is there, and with the help of the agent, so they will be just reaching out the industrial customers. Then the producer to the distributor, they will have distribution units like cements and all. So distribution units or distributors will be there each district, and through their distributors only they will be selling their products. Then about the producer to the agent, and the agent will have a distributor, and this is about the channel once again selling it to the industrial customer. So distribution channel for the industrial goods are also classified into 4 categories. This is the manufacturer to industrial customers. This is a common channel for expensive industrial products like heavy equipments and machines. And these needs to be, I told you already, it's creating a close relationship between the manufacturer and the customer, because the products affects the operation of the buyer. So that is very much important. For example, a confectionery manufacturing company will buy the sugar directly from sugar factories. So this is because the quality of the sugar matters a lot for them. So or else they themselves produce sometimes. They will be fully dependent upon the one particular the producer, the confectionery manufacturers, and they will be buying only from them. And especially the heavy equipments, like you can also go for boiler manufacturing or the other type of fabrication industries. So the heavy machines, purchases of heavy machines or the industrial goods are also one-to-one purchase. If they want to get material from Germany, directly they will be importing the machinery from the direct manufacturer. So this is what the model number 1. And then the seller has to participate in many activities like installation, commissioning. If I am importing a machine from Germany, then I have to appoint the engineers from Germany, the same company, to come and install it and commission the boilers, very big boilers like that only. Even BHL is commissioning it and doing it directly with the customers abroad. And the quality control checkings, the maintenance are jointly with the buyer. So the seller is responsible for many aspects of the operations of the product long after the product is sold also. Still today the BHL boilers, if any repairs in any of the countries or any of the plant, the engineers from BHL must go and repair it and come back. So this is what the long-term relationship channel. So the seller directly concentrate on the manufacturer's point. The nature of the product requires continuing relationship also. So that boilers which is supplied by BHL cannot be repaired or cannot be reconditioned by anybody else. So long-term relationship is very much needed between the seller and the buyer. The large size of the order makes direct selling and distribution economical also. So that's what we are going for, the manufacturer to the industrial consumers. The second model talks about the manufacturer to agent and to the industrial consumer. A company that sells industrial products can employ the services of an agent who maybe sell a range of products from several producers on a commission basis. Such an arrangement spreads selling cost and is benefited to companies who do not have the resources to set up their own sales and distribution operations. So in that case, they will be getting it from their agents and they will be using it. The arrangement allows the seller to reach a large number of customers without having to invest in the sales team. So that is the main objective. So they don't want to invest more on the sales team. But the company does not have much control over the agent, because agent is an independent person. He will not oblige to the company's rules and regulations. So does not devote the same amount of time or the dedication or the attention as the company's dedicated sales team is doing it. So that is one of the drawbacks when we are choosing this channel, we should take into consideration. Then the model talks about the manufacturer to distributor, distributor to industrial customer. For less expensive products, more frequently purchased products like bolt, nut, the small gauges, screws, all those things, distributors are used. Especially the automobile industry, you can take an example of these type of industrial goods. The company has both internal and field sales staff. An internal staff deals with customer and distributor generated inquiries and order placing, order follow up, and checking inventory levels and distribute accordingly. Outside sales staff is proactive, and they find new customers, get product specifications, distribute catalogs, even the paint companies you can take it, and gather market information. They also visit distributors to address their problems and keep them motivated that pipe channels, PVC pipe channels and other things, these models are introduced. And they also visit distributors to address their problems and keep them motivated to sell their company products. And distributors enable customers to buy small quantities locally. So that is also possible. Even the electronic goods, electrical goods, all those things follow this model. That is a distributor model. So many examples you can see that. Then the manufacturer to agent to distributor and to the industrial customers. The manufacturers employs an agent rather than a dedicated sales force to serve distributors, mainly because it is less expensive to do so. The agent may sell the goods of several suppliers to an industrial distributor and who further sells it to the business user. And this type of channel may be required when business customers require goods rapidly, and when industrial distributor can provide storage facilities also. So this is the very important model, the agent distributor model in the industrial goods distribution. And when you are differentiating the channel, you should also keep it in mind that service channels. See how the goods are playing a vital role in the distribution, service is also playing a vital role. So the distribution channel for services are usually short and are either direct or use an agent. Since stocks are not held, the role of wholesalers, retailers or the industrial distributors do not apply because the role is very limited. So there will be a one service provider and there will be customer or the industrial customer. And the second model is service provider, there will be agent and the customer or the consumer will be there. This is what the distribution channel for the services, only two models. Either directly they will call the, for example, the machinery repairing services. They will directly call them and they will ask them to come and repair it. If not, they will have an agency servicing centers. So they will call the agents and they will, in turn, they will be giving to the service providers like Just Dial. If you are calling to Just Dial, and they will be just calling the repairing work people, and they will, in turn, the service provider will be contacting you. So this is what the distribution service channels which will be available, and the two models. So the first model is service provider to consumer or industrial customer. Close relationship between the service provider and the customer means that service supply has to be direct. For instance, the healthcare. So the healthcare industry plays a vital role in this service provider consumer industrial customers. This service provider operates several outlets to reach out to the final customer or to the industrial buyer. Many service providers such as banks, retail outlets, service centers operate via this distribution channel only because they cannot directly deal with the customers. Then service provider to the agent to consumer and the industrial customers. Agents are used when the service provider is geographically away from the customers, when it is not economical for the provider to establish its own local sales team. For instance, many financial institutions are using their distribution channel to cross-sell their services to consumers by using a database of existing or the potential customers databases, and that they will be giving it to you, and these agents will call once again and speak to them and tell that if you want loan you can just get it from ICICI or from IDBI or any other bank, they may be mentioning it, and they will ask you and they will facilitate all the functions, and if you are saying okay, then your record will be sent to the bank directly, and the bank will, these facilitating agents will do all the formalities, they record work, everything, and that will be in turn sent to the bank. They will be facilitating the loan process. Service providers via internet to consumer or the industrial customers. Increasingly, services like music, software solutions, and financial information are being distributed via internet. The distribution channel is successful in case of products which can be downloaded. It is a very useful channel. It is a latest channel which we are using it, which is very less also, very less expensive also, and it is very useful channel for the information sharings like product informations. Nowadays, e-tickets have become very popular service provider through online. Everybody knows it. Everybody want to sell their e-tickets, even the buses, the trains, the flights, the ships, everybody want to sell their e-tickets and they want to use the internet to reach their service providings to the customers. Then the dual channel strategy in the industrial distribution. So what are the dual channel strategy? In the industrial distributions, both direct and indirect channels are utilized by majority of the Indian industrial firms. Even though we checked the 4 models, many firms use dual channels. Initial contacts can be established through the direct marketing channels, and later the sales force can be delegated to contact the customer for negotiation and settlement, discounts and terms and conditions, etc. etc. Parallelly, the products are also made available through distributors and dealers. They will speak to the people, and Intel sells its microprocessor through intermediaries as well as gets directly in touch with the OEMs, that is PC and server manufacturers, and the choice of the combinations depends also on the customer's expectations. Buyers are also concerned with service, and they gauge the quality of service by prompt and accurate communication coupled with adequate inventories. So the dual channel strategy is also one of the strategy which is nowadays used in the industrial distribution, and they do not expect distributors to be primary source of technical assistance. Hence, the manufacturer's sales force plays an important role in this. They are not expecting that. But an industrial dealer is also required to make the product locally available to small customers. A well qualified sales force goes to a long way in convincing the customer and building long-term relationships. When the product is technical and the customers are known or concentrated in a particular geographical area, and if the unit price of each product is high. So this model should be used. And the sales force needs to be adequately trained, not only on the technical aspects but also on the selling principles. How we have to approach the customers when you are selling a very high products. Sales personnel can also work through an agency on a contract basis. However, this arrangement works for straight rebuy situations. The third category of distribution is indirect distribution, that is using middlemen or intermediaries. So one level channel contains one selling intermediary such as a distribution, and the 2-level channel contains 2 intermediaries, typically a manufacturer's representative and a distributor, and 3-level channel contains 3 so on. And the longer the channel, the more difficult it is to exercise control over at the different levels. So the companies, those who are going for the channel selections for their products, they have to keep in mind on the whole, these are all the factors. Number 1 is the nature of the product. What is your nature of product? Whether I can do it with a channel 1 direct distribution, or I have to appoint some agent, or I have to go with a distributor, or I can directly reach out the market with a wholesaler, retailer and other channels. See, the nature and the size of the lot or the manufacturing unit also matters, and government regulations and policies. Very heavy machines you cannot lift it for a group of people and send it for a group of people, and also your competition. So your competitor is also very much important. If they are using the direct marketing, then they direct marketing style, no middleman in the channel or there is any distributor, then you have to conclude that also as your channel, and accordingly you have to behave. The last one is the various considerations. So various considerations while selecting the channels are as follows. Manufacturer's reputation, already we spoke about it, and the financial stability what you are having it, and the ability to purchase it directly from the manufacturers, and the experience of the undertakings, and desire for control of channels, or what is your controlling level, the industrial conventions, services provided by the manufacturers, and the government regulations or policies, and the competition all the most. So these are all the points you have to keep it in your mind while you are getting the products line for your channel for your consumer products as well as for the industrial products distribution, and also the if you are going for the service marketing, then you have to consider the separate channels which I proposed in this video. So thank you for accommodating with me. Once again, I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you very much.